So let's first look at a simple quadratic inequality so that you understand what that is. So quadratic equations we've already seen. So quadratic inequalities, inequality with polynomials which has highest power of 2. Right? So basically something like this. At all the way we have seen something like x is less than or equals to 4. Let's say something like this. This is a simple linear inequality because the highest power is 1 in this inequality. So it's a linear inequality. And you know that the answer is that x should be less than or equals to 4. If I draw a number line from minus infinity to infinity plus infinity. So let's say there's a 4 here. So everything in this zone is acceptable. All these values of x will satisfy the given inequality. X can be minus 100, minus 1000, minus 10, minus 5, minus 4, 0, 1, 2, 3, up to 4. Anything above that will not satisfy the inequality. Simple and straightforward. Right? When it comes to a linear inequality, something like this, x square is less than or equals to 4. Here it's slightly different. Don't think that you can just do square root, so I'll get x is equals to less than or equals to 2, right? Let's first see this on the equation side, right? To just give you an understanding of how it is slightly different. Let's say if I'm talking about x square is equals to 4, what is the value of x? It can be plus 2 or minus 2, plus or minus 2. Basically, there are two possible values. 2 square is 4, minus 2 square is also 4. There are two values. So how am I going to deal with that in the inequality case, right? So x square is less than or equals to 4. So if I write x is equals to plus 2, or should I write minus 2, or should I write both, then that's not going to make any sense, right? So how would I put the values in the number line? And that's a confusion that you might have. So we'll show this, how you're going to do this. But then another key point I would like to focus upon, though we are talking on quadratic only, if I have odd powers, right, like x power 1 is less than or equals to 4, x power 3, let's say is less than or equals to 8, x power 5 is less than or equals to 32, or anything I have 3, 5, 7s, all those, right? This will translate to x is less than or equals to 4, simple and straightforward. I know that. This one is cubing on both sides, like doing cube root, on both sides. I'll get x is less than or equals to 2. It won't be plus 2 minus 2. Why? Because odd powers, only 2 cube can be 8. Minus 2 cube is minus 8, not 8, right? And x power 5 means x is less than or equals to 2. So I'm getting the numbers should be less than 2. Anything less than 2 is fine for me for both the cases. Anything above 2, for example, if I take 3 cube is 27, which is not less than 8. Here 3 power 5 is what? 243, which is not less than 32. So that's what you're getting the answer as. So when it comes to the cubes, power 5, odd powers, basically you can just deal with normal way. Try to do the normal way you do like an inequality or equation of linear ones, right? Only when power of 2, 4, 6, 8 odd even powers, that's where you will get plus and minus as well, and then you have to deal with it slightly different. So actually the answer for this will be that x will be between minus 2 less than or equals to x is less than or equals to 2. So it should be between this zone. Okay. So if you substitute any value here, right, say minus 2 square is 4, minus 1 square is 1, 1 is less than or equals to 4, 0 square is 0, 1 square is 1 less than or equals to 4, 2 square is 4. If I pick any point here, 3 square is 9, 9 is not less than or equals to 4. And if I take minus 3 here, minus 3 square is also 9, is not less than or equals to 4. Again, I am not obliging the given inequality. So it's only this range of values, x should be between this minus 2 to 2 to satisfy the inequality. So how do I do it, right? I'll get to that. So let's look at this 3-step process. So actually, if you're not very comfortable with this, don't worry. What we recommend is understand this. It helps you to solve slightly tricky and harder ones. Even if not, the inequality questions can always be solved if you have options by substituting the relevant options, right? Once you start to practice some questions, you will see that available, right? If I ask you what values of x would satisfy this inequality, if I give you options, all you need to do is to substitute the values back and see if that is satisfying. If they are not, you'll eliminate those options and then you'll only pick the ones which are suitable for it. As simple as it. Right, now coming back to this one, if I have to do like without any options and I'm trying to do it a normal subjective approach. So first step is to treat the inequality like an equation and find the roots of the quadratic. So I'm saying, so treat it as x square is equals to 4. So I'll get x is equals to plus 2 and minus 2. These are the roots of the quadratic equation, right? So I call them key points here for our reference. Actually, it's not an equation, so that's why they are not actually roots, but let's call them key points. So now draw the number line. The second step is to draw the number line. Because there are two key points like minus 2, plot them on the number line. Minus 2 is here, 2 is here. Because of this, you will divide the number line into 3 zones. If there are 3 key points, you will divide into 4 zones. If you have 2 key points, you will divide into zone 1, zone 2 and zone 3. Basically 3 different zones. So I mean, what I'm trying to say in zones is that if x is between minus infinity to minus 2, the behavior will be a certain type. It will be the same behavior. That's why the entire zone is in one zone. So any point you take for x here, minus 3, minus 10, minus 100, the behavior will be same. What do you mean by behavior? I get to that, don't worry. Minus 2 to 2, it will be same behavior, and 2 to infinity, it will be same behavior, right? So you don't need to look for each and every point. The entire zone is behaving in the same style. That's what this basically is understood. What is the behavior? The behavior is that the expression will be positive or negative. Okay, so what I would want you to understand this one is, see this way, like whatever you get, always, less than 0, less than equals to 0, greater than 0, greater than equals to 0. Do this one. Actually, maybe I can call it step 0, depends on how the questions are set. In this case, this is the step you need to do, which is x square minus 4 is less than 0. Make sure you send all the things to one side, the entire inequality, and then it's less than 0, less than equals to greater than, and greater than equals. So you should come to this. Then treat it like x square minus 4 is equals to 0, a quadratic equation. Then you get x is equals to plus 2 minus 2. Now you got here, right? So to satisfy this inequality, you should see this in this way. When I say something is less than 0, what is the interpretation of it? When will k be less than 0? When k is negative. Okay, k will be greater than 0 when k is positive. Right? If I say x square minus 4, when will x square minus 4 be less than 0? When x square minus 4 is less than 0 when x square minus 4 is negative. Right? That's what we wrote, no? Assume this to be k. So this is less than 0 when this entire thing is negative. So obviously that's what I need. So that means to satisfy this inequality, x square minus 4 should be negative. So that is what this is going to help me. Which one is going to give me negative value? That's what I said, the behavior of the zone, right? Pick the zones that will satisfy the given inequality. How would I know it? So let's do something. I'll pick a value here, 0. So 0 is between minus 2 to 2, right? No, that means I'm taking, let's take x is equals to 0. What is that? I get 0 square minus 4, right? And what is that? This is negative, right? 0 square minus 4 is minus 4. Finally, I'm getting, so that is negative. That means this entire zone will be negative. That is x square minus 4 will be negative for all these values. Anything you pick 1, you pick minus 1, you pick 0.5, minus 0.5, anything. You don't have to double check them. You can check if you want. It will be always be negative. Okay. So once you do it, don't worry. The neighbors will be opposite sign. That's the behavior you'll observe. If this is negative, this has to be positive. This is negative, this has to be positive. If I know this is positive, the next will be negative. If this is negative, next will be positive. Anything you can pick, and I'll just show you. Let's take, I take minus 10 here. Okay. So if x is equals to minus 10, it's minus 10 square minus 4, which is 100 minus 4, which is 96, which is positive value. See, this entire zone will be positive. What about if I take 5 here, for example? If x is 5, 5 square is 25 minus 4, which is 21, which is positive. So again, I got the positive zone, right? So now you're able to bifurcate the zones. This is positive zone. That means x square minus 4 is positive for x, ranging from minus infinity to minus 2. See, the key points will be the exact 0 points. That is x square minus 4 will be equals to 0. Should I include them also? No, because equals to 0 is not positive nor negative. Just keep that point in mind, right? So minus 2 to 2, in between that I'll get negative. If I pick minus 2 and 2, I'll get 0. I'm not satisfying the inequality with 0. It should be less than 0, right? And 2 to infinite is again, it's going to be giving me positive. So what are the values which will satisfy the inequality? It will be minus 2 to 2 with the circular brackets. Keep in mind circular brackets. If you see, earlier I gave a question that is less than or equals to. So in this case, as I've written, it will minus 2 is less than or equals to. So if it was also x square is less than or equals to 4, obviously this one, then yes, I should put a square bracket, which means that these points are also accepted because it could be less than 4 or equals to 4. I am fine with that also. But if I don't put that, I am not fine with being 4. It should be less than 4, which means that I should take this as answer. Just be careful with this minor difference between square and circular bracket. The answer is this for this. Now let's look at another example. I'll do it quickly. If you want, just pass it and try on your own. That will give you a good sense of what we have been discussing. So step 0 has been already done. That is, we have already, in a way, set up all the things to one side of it. So this expression has to be positive to satisfy the inequality. That is my goal when I do the zones. Right, first treat it like a quadratic inequality. X square minus 3x minus 28 is equals to 0. Let me do the roots. If you know, you'll understand this will be like minus 7 into 4. So I can do this way. So it will be x minus 7 into x plus 4. The roots are 7 and minus 4. Let's say you don't know this. It's okay. Still stick to the formula minus b plus or minus b square minus 4ac by 2a. So it will be what? 3 plus or minus 9 plus or 112 by 2. 3 plus or minus 121 square root is 11 by 2. So 3 plus 11 by 2 is 7 or minus 8 minus 4. Right, that's what we got. So these are the key points for us. Now draw the number line, divide them. So I have minus 4 here, I have 7 here. So we got 3 zones, 1, 2 and 3. Now I need to find which zone is going to give me signs, right? So let's pick 0 here. It's always easy to take 0, that's why I look for the 0 zone. So 0 is in between minus 4 to 7. Let's substitute it here. If x is 0, it's 0 minus 28. What is this sign? This is negative sign. That means this entire zone is negative. If this is negative, this has to be positive and this has to be positive. And as per the question, should I have positive or negative? I need positive because this expression is supposed to be greater than 0, which means this has to be positive. So what values of x would satisfy that? From minus infinity to minus 4. Again, this is just greater than, not equals to. So that means this point should not be accepted because minus 4, if I substitute here, it will give me 0. 0 is not greater than 0, so I can't accept it. So it is a circular bracket. Union, that is this as well as 7 to infinity. Right, so this is the answer for it. Right, once you get used to it, it won't take you more than a minute, actually like 30-40 seconds to solve this. If you're still confused, don't worry, just try them again. We have one more question, we have more questions in the practice, so you can get used to that. So let's look at this. We have intentionally picked a higher power like 4 just to show that this wouldn't be that different from doing a normal, what do you call it, a quadratic inequality. Right, for example, x minus 1 whole power 4, send 15 to that side, I will be getting 81. Right. So imagine this, I am taking x minus 1 whole square as k. Let's take, assume or otherwise, I am replacing x minus 1 whole square as k. What is x minus 1 whole power 4? It will be k square in that case, right? Because obviously x minus 1 whole square whole power 2 will be x minus 1 whole power 4. If I am replacing x minus 1 square with k, so it will be k square less than or equals to 81. This is what we have done. It's very easy. So k square, so if you want to do, it will be, by now you should understand, if this is how you are saying k square is less than 81, it should be k is less than or equals to 9 and greater than or equals to minus 9. Otherwise, you do this approach that we did, x square is less than 4, you do this, you still get the same thing. K square minus 81 is less than or equals to 0. So see it as a quadratic equation, you will get k square is equals to 81, k is equals to plus or minus 9. These are the key points in the number line. I give minus 9, plus 9. So let me take a 0 point here. So if I substitute 0 minus 81, it's negative. This is positive and this is positive. And I want this expression to be negative because it's less than or equals to. That means the value of k will be minus 9 to 9. It can be anything between that, including them, because it's less than or equals to. 0 is also acceptable for me, so I am happy with that. So once I got this, what is k? K is x minus 1 square, right? So just understand that x minus 1 square is between 9 to minus 9. So again, you can just, have to understand the square will always be positive. So this is anyways a bit relevant for us, if you ask me, because as I said, a square will always be positive. So it will, x minus 1 square will always be greater than 0. It will never be. So in a way, this one can be, looked upon like this. As long as x minus 1 square is positive, up to 9, I am happy. So only focus on this part. X minus 1 whole square is less than or equals to 9. That means x minus 1 should be less than plus 3 and less than minus 3. Right. So now I can just substitute it back. So how do I get? I get x is less than or equals to 4 minus 2. Anything from minus 2 to minus 4, I can do with it, right? So let me just substitute back and check it. If I have x is 4, what do I get? 4 minus 1 is 3 power 4 minus 15. That's 81 minus 15 is 66. So that is still less than or equals to 66. So it's fine, right? If I have x is equals to 3, what do I get? 3 minus 1 is 2 power 4 minus 15. So that is 16 minus 15 is 1 is less than or equals to 66. Perfect. If I take x as minus 2, right, minus 2 minus 1 is minus 3 whole power 4, minus 15, that's again 81 minus 15 is 66, that is also fine. If I take x as minus 3, which is I'm going outside this zone, right? So I will get minus 3 minus 1 is minus 4 whole power 4 minus 15, which is going to be 256 minus 15 will be 241, which is not less than or equal to 66. Right? If I try to go above this as well, 5. So 5 minus 1 is 4 power 4 minus 15. Again, I will get 241 is not less than or equal to 66. Again, is also right. You see, these are the only values that I can satisfy. X can be minus 2, minus 2 point, sorry, minus 1.9, 1.8, and all of that up to 4. So here the answer, there is no fixed question per se, but if I asked what is the largest possible value of x, the answer would have been 4 or something like that. Smallest possible value, largest possible value. Which of the following values can x take? Whenever you get questions like this, if you're not able to solve this way, don't worry, just substitute the options and that's more than sufficient as well. Like how I did, right? If they give x is 4 as an option, you substitute. Okay, this is accepted. This is accepted, but which one is larger? This is larger. Yes, x is equals to minus 3 is accepted, but this is not accepted, this is not accepted. So out of acceptable 4, 3 and minus 2, let's say they gave these 5 options. This is the largest value. Or smallest value is this. You can pick according to that. Right? All you need to do is to substitute back each value and check if that is satisfying the inequality or not. So this one is very similar to what we have been doing in this. So just send it to this side, you get x square plus 13x plus 40 is less than or equals to 0. That's a step 0. As I said, step 1, just do it like an equation, quadratic equation. So it is 8 5s are 40. So I get the roots are x plus 8 into x plus 5. If you do, you will get roots as minus 8 and minus 5. Right, you can just apply the formula if you are not confident about it and check it. The step 2, as I said, is to draw the number line. So I'll have minus 8 first, then minus 5. Now I need to find, what do I need? I need this expression to be negative or 0 to satisfy this inequality, right? So these points will give me 0. Should it be this zone or this zone? We'll see. Let's take a point 0 here. The 0 is this time in this zone, right? That's why I'm taking. If x is 0, what do I get? 0 plus 0 plus 40, which is positive. That means this entire zone is positive. What about this zone? It will be automatically negative. I said neighbors will be opposite signs. If this is negative, this has to be positive. And what is that I want? I want negative or 0, which means this is the zone that I am more happy about. So x should be minus 8 to minus 5, including these points. Minus 8 and minus 5 are included as well. Why? Because it's less than or equals to. That means I can have 0 also. Minus 8, minus 5, if I substitute here, I'll get 0. For example, if I substitute minus 5 here, 25 minus 65 plus 40, which is 0. Right? 65 minus 65 is 0. So minus 8 also will get the same way, you will get 0. So that is also satisfying the inequality. So out of these values, I can have x as minus 8, minus 7.9, 7.8, 7.77, minus 6, minus 5, minus 5.1, minus 5.2. What is the largest possible value of x? It is minus 5. Right? That's the largest value for x here. So that's our answer for this.